Listen, this is a sad truth, man. But like most men these days, man, most men are just NPCs, bro. They're just like fucking background characters, man. Like just watching shit, like just watching shit, not doing shit for themselves. And the way you know that is when they're caught up on the latest, Kai Cenat drama, but they don't know how much money's in their bank account. They don't know what their body fat percentage is. And they don't even know what they ate yesterday for dinner, right? They're always watching Kai Cenat's stream. You got to realize most people are watching Kai Cenat's stream, right? Most people know what level they are in video games, but they don't know what level they are in real life. You see what I'm saying? Like they don't know their value in real life, but they know their value in video games. That's where most people are. Most people are caught up with every anime. They know every character in every anime, but they don't know themselves. That's the reality. You see what I'm saying? And it's really a sad thing to see, but that's just what most people are. They're not like taking control of their life, right? And then I'll meet some of these people and they'll be like, "How do you do this? How do you do that?" I'm like, you be present in real life and you improve in real life. The effort that you put in video games, you put that shit in real life. So I'm saying, you guys realize that you can level up in video games, right? You can get more badges. You can get to the next level, but you guys don't apply that same shit to life. And in reality, that's exactly how life is, right? And I found that out when I started getting in shape, to be honest. Like when I started putting on muscle, I was like, okay, now I'm becoming the character that I wanted to become, right? What else can I do? All right. What else can I progressively overload? All right. So another thing is like the NPC mindset, like I said, it just means non-playable character. But a lot of you guys, like I said, you guys level up in video games, but you haven't leveled up in your life, right? You're actually regressing in your life. Like you level up in a video game, you get to the last level, you're excited about it, but in real life, you're getting fatter, you're getting broker, your mom fucking hates you, you're sleeping on her couch. Every time she goes in your room, you smell like fucking ass because you haven't taken a shower in 3 days. So you're not taking care of your real body, and when you have one body in this life, but you're taking care of your video game character, your favorite video game character, right? And a lot of you guys will watch Isekai, right? I lived Isekai before I watched it, but a lot of you guys will watch Isekai and be like, dang, I wish that was me. You can make it you. You can take control of your life and make it you, but you're focused more on consuming than you are on creating. All right. A lot of people are consumers. So when you scroll on Instagram and TikTok, like another thing is when you become a creator on Instagram and TikTok, you view it differently, right? Because when I go on Instagram and TikTok, I post, right? People are gonna hate, people are gonna comment, some people will be inspired and stuff like that. But I post, respond to DMs, and I get out of there. Most people scroll through the For You page and just consume, consume, consume. That's what most people are doing, right? Simple, simple, simple. But like I said, man, like there's a lot of escapism traps. There's a lot of what we call like fast food, basically, dopamine hits, right? Because obviously fast food is just like bullshit food. That's not good for you. It's not good for your body, but it's fast, right? So it gives you a dopamine hit, and it has a bunch of bullshit in it that gives you like the preservatives, the fructose and all that stuff gives you dopamine hits. When in reality, you need fruits, you need healthy food, right? There's a lot of that shit when it comes to dopamine hits as far as like TV and stuff. Like a lot of people sit for hours and watch Twitch. Let's be honest. I don't know who's doing it, but a lot of people are obviously doing it, right? Because at the end of the day, Kai Cenat is becoming so popular that all the streamers are becoming so popular that they have to get, like all the celebrities aren't acting in movies anymore. They're they're prioritizing more like getting onto streams because that's how important streams are these days, right? So a lot of NPCs are just watching another man chase his goals. And apparently, I've been seeing like some J Cinco stuff on like TikTok, and people have been sending me stuff. But apparently, like they go on dates now too. So now people are watching other people go on dates instead of doing it themselves and living through other people, which is absolutely fucking crazy, right? That's kind of what I see when people tell me, hey, tell me body game stories. I'm like, why don't you just get on body game experiences yourself? Right? But people are like, oh, no, man, no, tell me some more stories, because they don't want to put in the work. They just want to live through other people, right? Which is just crazy to me. It's the crazy shit. I would never watch a stream where someone is like going out on a date, unless like it's my homeboy and I'm actually dating people. But like a lot of you guys haven't touched grass in a while, and you're just watching this stuff, and you get all your information from, and shit from just watching stuff, but not actually going outside. Like I see a lot of people say stuff like, yeah, man, like you don't understand. Like, I'm 5'10", and it's real hard when you're shorter. And I'm like, you're 5'10". Out in the real world, you're basically 6 foot. Nobody can fucking tell. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, yeah, it's 5'10", like you have to be 6'5" in the Chad. That's what people say because they don't go out there. They're getting all their information from Reddit forums and shit like that. You see what I'm saying? And then of course, video games, right? Video games, the issue with video games is like, if you play Call of Duty every once in a while, or NBA 2K, doesn't really fucking matter. But a lot of people will play like fantasy games, RPG games, and like level up and shit. And it gives you the illusion that you're making progress, right? You're getting the achievements, you're getting the badges, the XP, you know, all that shit. You're building your strength bars. But in real life, your real body, your real skills, they're regressing and they don't even exist, right? And your real life bank account is regressing as well because you're spending it all on these video games, right? So you're in real life, you're stuck at level 1, but since in video games, you're able to level up, you feel like you're doing something, but in reality, you're not, right? In reality, you're not doing anything. The thing is, like with video games, they hijack that reward center of your brain. So you feel excited for the rewards and then you get trapped into that. So a lot of you guys are like that. All right. A lot of you guys are like that. Now, I know there's exceptions to the rules and there's actually lean people that play video games in level up, but that's rare. It's usually out of shape people who get all the reward from playing video games. And then in real life, they're just on level 1, stuck on level 1 because they're not putting in the same work they put in video games in real life. And I'm here to tell you that if you do, if you put the same fucking work and energy and focus that you put into video games in real life, guess what? You're going to get real life results. All right. Simple shit. And of course, the more you consume, and this is why I tell you guys, like, you need to stop consuming all this video games and all this shit. The more you consume, the less you want to do in real life. All right. That's video games. Now, a lot of people are watching flicks, you know, OF and corn, let's say corn because YouTube, right? A lot of you guys are watching that shit too, right? And it's definitely a damaging trap because it gives you the reward like you're actually doing it in real life, but you're not, right? And, you know, obviously you don't have to approach anyone. You don't have any courage or you're not putting in any effort. There's no risk or anything. So the more you consume, the less motivated you're going to be, right? But also, a lot of you guys have, you know, erectile dysfunction or, you know, problem with women because of that, right? You can't even make eye contact because you're always, you know, whacking your shit, gooning all day and watching corn, right? That's what a lot of you guys are doing. And that's the issue. All right. So basically watching that shit turns like lions into neutered cats. Like a lot of you guys struggle with just ambition, energy, confidence, sticking to your goals. All of that stuff I'm saying is basically just high testosterone behavior, which you would have if you weren't gooning and getting rid of all your semen, right? So if you're semen retaining, locked in, eating what you needed to, getting lean, you would automatically have those things. Like, here's the thing. I don't have to necessarily give you a map by map or step by step, like way to act if you do what you need to do. Like if you were to semen retain and you were to eat what you need to eat, like high protein, you know, eggs, healthy food, whole foods, and you were to get lean, you would naturally just have more energy, more ambition, and you would just start approaching more people, but your aura would speak for itself as well. And people would start approaching you more too. Literally. That is literally what happens. All right. So the step-by-step stuff like, hey, make sure you approach more people. You don't really have to fucking do that. If you actually just get into shape and do what you need to do, your aura is literally going to attract people. Like literally. It's going to attract women. It's going to attract men. Like men are going to come up to you and ask you questions like, hey man, are you a trainer? I need a trainer. Boom. You got your first client. Women are going to come up to you like, oh, I'm sorry. Like my girl just wanted to know if you're single. Boom. Now you have, you know, a girl that you're dating, or maybe you want to make her your girlfriend. Like that's how it happens. Literally. Like when I started leveling up in real life and I got sick of my own bullshit, guess what? I went from being the skinny, lame trainer in the gym to going to another gym by the end of the year and being swole. And then literally the clients would like come to me. I would talk to some of them, approach some of them, but the clients would come to me. And then I actually found my girlfriend at the time in the gym. You know what I mean? And that was just from my energy because I was leveling up, building confidence and out in the real world, not being an NPC, being a main character. Like not just being, like I said, not just being a background character who just doesn't have my own mindset. Another thing is the isekai anime, right? It's like a, and I listen, I love isekai, but in real life, I actually live that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because I saw both sides. But a lot of people, they kind of just fantasize and they see and they're like, dang, I wish that was me. And it gives them like that feeling, but they don't put in the work, right? Like main characters always train in the dark like you see. And NPCs dream about being, you know, transported. But like you guys will see in the isekai, like the loser just getting transported, and you'll be like, maybe that'll be me, maybe that'll be me. But in reality, you have to put in the work. All right. In reality, if you want to change and get to the other side, you have to put in the work. People will treat you differently. It will feel like an isekai, but the bridge between where you are now and the isekai fantasy is you putting in fucking work. All right. You're not going to go from, because yeah, in the average isekai, there's a lot of isekai where the dude goes from a 40% body fat desk working dude to like some kind of 10% body fat Chad who like has all these skills and powers and who's OP, right? That happens a lot. That happens in a lot of isekai, and everyone wants that to happen to them. They're like, oh my god, will that happen to me? Or you have solo leveling, which is kind of an isekai, where he goes from a E rank loser to now he's leveling up like crazy, and people are like, oh my god, is that going to be me? And people just wait, right? So a lot of times people get the wrong inspiration from isekai. They're like, okay, well, if it can happen to them, maybe one day I'll get ran over by a truck, and then truck guy or truck hun, I'll get run over by a truck, and then I'll be in another world and I'll have all these magical powers. No, sir. Your fat ass got to put in some work. All right. Simple, simple, simple. Now, another thing is with this NPC character is comfort versus pain, right? Like it's easier to watch someone else succeed than to actually lock in yourself. It's kind of like the hating shit, right? Like there was this I can't remember if it was D1 football or NFL, but they took some of their fans and they were like throwing the ball, or they were having the fans trying to catch punts, and none of the fans could catch punts, and they all look super unathletic, right? Those same dudes are the ones that are in comment sections always criticizing the athletes when they can't even do the basic bare minimum shit, right? It's easier to criticize than to do. We all know that shit. A lot of you guys criticize boxers, MMA fighters, and literally, you guys would not be able to hang with the MMA fighter for like 30 seconds. Just 3 seconds, honestly, right? Because that shit's hard. It's way different. Like when you're consuming something, it's easy to say, oh, I could do that too. Like usually if you go to, a lot of you guys don't post shit, but like if you're a creator and you post stuff and you go to your comment section, you have a hater in there. If you go to their profile, to be some out of shape dude. Like I always get people being like, oh, you're not 10% body fat. You don't even look that good. I'll go to their page and it's like some 40% body fat dude who, who has a wife who's like 50% body fat or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, who is this guy, bro? Like he's cooked. You see what I'm saying? Like that's usually how it is, because it's easier to criticize than to actually do. It's easier to watch someone else succeed than succeed yourself, which is why people are always watching sports, right? Watching other people making millions while they're broke, or they're watching streamers go out and date, streamers chase their dreams while they're just sitting at home. You see what I'm saying? That's why people do that shit. All right. And like I said, all these things, like they give you dopamine hits, and a lot of people get addicted to those dopamine hits, right? That's why there's a OF epidemic where a lot of dudes are buying those $10, $15 month subscriptions and shit like that, because they get dopamine hits from that. A lot of people, they like to see, I guess, I don't know if they watch Kaisen. I don't know who you guys watch, but a lot of people like to watch Kaisen, how like live his life and stuff like that, and they get enjoyment from that because they don't think they can ever do it, because they don't work on themselves, and they know it's easier to watch and consume than it is to create, right? Simple. Another thing is, I should make a whole video on goal setting, by the way, but another thing is just lack of purpose. Like a lot of dudes lack purpose, and guess what? When you lack purpose, you have no direction. When you lack goals, you have no direction. So when you lack direction, you don't have a clear mission, you literally latch on to other people's missions, right? Because it's obviously stronger than yours. Any mission is going to be stronger than yours if you don't have a clear mission or any goals, right? So you'll see Kai Cenat say something like, oh man, like, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to give back in New York, or blah, blah, blah. Something like that, right? You'll see that, and then you'll be like, wow, that's cool. And that mission obviously is going to be more important than yours because you don't really have one, right? Simple. All right. Men are designed to lead, not to spectate. All right. Now, how do you become the main character? So here's the thing. The last live I did about becoming him, I didn't even get to talk about it because I was answering the questions, but it was supposed to be about becoming the main character. The number one step is literally going to be to get in shape. All right. It's going to be to get in shape. Now, the only reason people are inspired by Goku, Vegeta, people like Asta, people like any anime characters, because they leveled up and they got in shape. Even Rock Lee was shredded. All right. They leveled up, they got in shape. The body's going to be your foundation, because that's going to show your discipline, and that discipline is going to be able to be applied in every aspect of life. Very simple shit. Very, very simple shit. All right. So first step to getting to that level, get in the gym, eat clean, right? And build a physique that makes you respect yourself. Now, that is probably the most basic advice you've ever heard, but no one does it. So is it important, right? Is it not good advice or is it good advice? It's good advice. But what's going to dictate whether it works or not? Your desire. That's what's going to dictate whether it works or not. A lot of you guys just, you go to the gym once every 2 weeks. You eat clean probably once a year. That's not going to get results. Eat clean every day. Hit the gym at least 5 days a week. No excuses. All right. And then build the mind, right? You want to read books. You want to clean up your mental diet. Cut out the, watching flicks. Semen Retain. Read some more Napoleon Hill. Read some, Jim Rohn. Read some Zig Ziglar. And really read those self-improvement books, but start to apply them, because all those self-improvement books do not work if you don't apply them. They just don't. They can't work if you don't apply them. So when you're reading it, it's telling you like, yeah, you need to write down your goals. Write down your goals. When it's saying, yeah, you need to eliminate distractions. Eliminate distractions. All right. When it says you need to say no more. All right. Make your boundaries. All right. Another thing is build your wealth, whether you're making money online or whether you're, working a sales job, whatever you're doing, keep progressing. Get to level 10, get to level 15. You know what I mean? Just keep progressing from level 1. Don't stay at the bottom. All right. So if you're working at McDonald's as a cashier, scale to a manager, and then be like, you know what? If I can become a manager here, I can do something else, right? I can start my own business, shit like that. A lot of people are curious about, like online income and stuff like that, but they don't search into it. They don't focus on it. They don't try hard enough to even get there. Right? They're just curious about it. They think it's some magical shit. It's actually it's literally not magical shit. You have to create value. Very, very simple. But you can't create value if you don't respect yourself first, which is why I said the foundation is the body. And the physique, that's the foundation. Simple shit. And another thing, you want to build relationships, because one thing is some of the people I met during my journey and people I will meet in the future as well, literally are like where you want to be a lot of the times. And they literally have information that you need to get to the next level, right? Because I remember, like I tell you guys all the time, 2021, I went to Orlando or whatever, and I met up with a friend and they're just living life. And I'm like, damn, like, yo, this is a pretty chill day, man. It was my off day. So that was the only day I could make it there. I had like 2 days off for the first time in a while. So I had 2 days off from working as a nurse, and I went up there. I was hanging out with her, and I'm just seeing what she's doing. I'm like, yo, like, when do you work? And she's like, oh, well, I run this business. And that was my first time seeing like someone run a business, and they had like a team under them, and they did not even touch the business. Like they didn't make a single piece of content. They didn't put out a single piece of content. But then you go to their page and the content was put up there because their team put it up there. And you look at their Stripe account for the past 2 days, and they had like, plus 10K or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't do anything. And it's like they just created so much value and got to such a level by grinding over time that they were able to make it to that level. So that was my first time seeing that shit. So stop trying to do everything alone and realize that building friendships, whether it's with ambitious man or like someone who's at your goals, is very, very, very important. All right. Stop hiding in the dark and hiding in the cut, and realize that, you start meeting people who are on the next level, that's going to get you to the next level faster, because they're already doing what you want to do. So it's like, it makes it a reality for you too. Like when you see it in person, it's so different. When you see someone at your goal self or doing what you want to do in person, it hits way different, because the energy they're in, it's like they're just relaxed, and it's like, wow, this is really possible. Like I can really do this shit. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. Another thing is, last step, guys, you want to pick a mission. Like I said, like, pick your passion. Do you want to do online coaching? Do you want to do stock trading? Do you want to do, do you want to do a car detailing business, real estate? Like, you got to pick your mission, and you gotta go after it. You want to do e-commerce? Which one do you want to do? Like, a lot of you guys are just indecisive. And a lot of the indecision comes from not semen retaining. A lot of the indecision comes from high estrogen levels because you guys aren't locked in. But you just got to pick something and go with it. All right. Because in reality, like I said, if you're on the last live, if you're a guy and you want to have the best lash business, right, of all time, all you got to do is lock in on it, figure out everything about it, obsess over it, progressively overload it, and boom, you have the best lash business. There's actually some dude who got out of prison, got a bunch of tats and shit. He looks like some literally like some gang boss or some shit. But he has like the best, I think he has like the best nail business right now or whatever, because he just progressively overloaded and stayed locked in like That's what it's really about. It's about obsession, consistency, and changing from consuming to creating. Two different mentalities. Most people I see, most people I know, they're just consumers. They're just consuming shit all day, and they're like, that's not fair. It's like, nigga, you don't even know what your body fat percentage is. You don't know, what you do on a daily basis. You don't even know how you allocate your time. That's why you say, oh, I don't have time, and I'm watching you scroll all day. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't want to be NPC anymore, lock the fuck in.